Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another video. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. And also please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. I wanted to do this one because on the Big W fatwood, it says to use 2 sticks of fatwood to light a fire. Now I think that's incredibly wasteful. What I did was process up one of those sticks into fatwood. That's what I got. And I'm going to do an entire burn of one fatwood stick. So they're obviously not processing it down. I'm going to show you how a single fatwood stick burns and showing you don't need to do it. I don't mind doing this because I've got that much of this stuff on hand. It's, as you can see, this is a massive pile of fatwood. You don't need that much to start a fire. It's a ridiculous amount to start a fire with. Basically, I used about that much, that one stick processed down, and that's what I got. I used curls, fluffs. There's some really nice little bits of bacon in there, nice bits of fatwood. So yeah, it's going to be a good burn. It's quite a lot of fatwood once you process it up. Also, while I was, not this lot, but I was processing down a lot that I tested last night, I got this little beauty. It's basically a core of pure resin that's going into my kits as a fatwood match. I just wanted to show you that one. Yeah, very impressed with that bit. That came out of the Big W fatwood as well. So yeah, it's a beautiful little bit. But let's get on to this one. This is going to take a while. I'm going to burn the whole lot and you're going to watch it. I'm going to leave the video going until the entire lot is burned up. So this might be a bit of a longer burn because there is a fair bit of it in there. So let's get at it. As I said, I'm getting better at that one strike. So I'm getting better at this ferro rod business. Lots of black smoke, so yeah, it was good smoking me out. It was good. That one stick I picked had a lot of resin in it, so yeah, it was very good grade. A minus, I'd say that one stick was. It's quite hot too. But obviously they're trying to sell a product, so that's what it comes down to when they're saying using 2 to 3 sticks of these, 2 sticks to get a fire started. Obviously you don't need that much. Burning my leg. I have to move. Burn all the hair off my leg. You don't need that much fatwood to start a fire. Unless you were in, like if it was raining, I could see yes. Maybe use one stick, process it down, and then use it for that. But under normal circumstances, I just don't see how you would need to use anything more than a quarter of a stick. Because once you process it down into the curls and that, it burns fiercely. It's very hot and burns for a long time. Like if you can't get a fire going with that, even like a quarter of that, you know, like you're just not doing it right. You got to learn learn a lot more about your firecraft. But I wanted to do an experiment with it, and that's what this is. It's all about. And I've got enough of it on hand to be able to do this, so you guys don't have to do it. And it's still very hot. And I basically just break it down into curls. I do a little bit of the fuzz with the back of my knife. I do, by the end of it, it gets to the point where it's really hard to break it up. So I basically just break it into little sticks and then smash them up as best I can, break them up. So that's the little bit more tighter bits. So a bit more substantial bits here. But yeah. That's how I do it. I just start with curls, then do a bit of fuzz, and then by the end of the stick, I'm down to breaking it up into just basically little sticks. But that was a fair good burn. Like, yeah, one stick is more than enough. Even if you had like somewhat wet tinder, wet kindling, I'm sure with the intensity of that one stick, you would have been well on your way to drying it out and getting it going. You're like, no dramas. It would have easily got a fire going. So yeah, I just wanted to show you what one stick would do. If you were in a downpour and you needed to do 2 sticks, you processed it down, you would get a substantial fire going, I think, with, yeah, even wet tinder, wet kindling. And if you put a bit of fuel in there that was maybe, if you basically you cut the outside layers off, the stuff on the inside's not going to be wet. So there it is, it's all out. You probably drive sparks into that too and get it to go again. Yeah, you can just cut the outside layers of wet layers off of your fuel and get into the dry stuff, or batten it down if you have to. And that's a legitimate reason to use battening, to get into the dry stuff into the middle. And probably the only time I do actually advocate battening. But anyway, that's a discussion for another time. But anyway, I just wanted to show what one stick of that Big W fatwood does and how long it burned and how big of a fire it actually does. But anyway, that was it. One stick of fatwood processed down and burned off. And you saw how big it was. I had to move it because I think I burnt half the hairs off one leg. But anyway, that's the way it goes. And I wanted to show you that little core of basically pure saturated resin there too. Really happy with that. That was just one of the sticks, and I basically cut all the white bits off it, and yeah, turned out really well. As I said, that was about what the size stick I processed down to produce that. Anyway, hope that was informative, and thanks for watching.